Well, aloha, and how you doing? Welcome to Hibachi Talk. I'm Gordo, the Tech Czar. I'm here with Andrew, the security guy.
Aloha.
How you doing, Brett?
Very well.
Nice to
Good
see you,
man.
So look,
Aloha,
I'm pretty
everybody.
spiffy today, where you're looking
I'm
very,
in logo wear.
You're logo wear. I'm doing the spiffiness today.
Hillbilly's on the house.
Yeah. Oh, there he's there. There's the man. Oh, he knocked over
He's
our
wrecking
homies.
stuff. Wrecking our homies.
Wrecking our
We have
homies.
homies today.
Anyway, please pull up a towel, grab yourself a libation, and join us for another 45 minutes of Hibachi Talk. And we got a great guest today. We have Patricia Baker. That's destined to just stay there. So we have Patricia Baker. She's with Pacxa, and she's a project manager and services coordinator in IT.
Okay,
So
she'll have stories, I'm sure.
That's gonna be one that's gonna have everybody just, oh my goodness.
Yeah, who get the honorable mentions, all right?
But it also talks about what we've been saying is that, you know, why are there not that many women in tech? And here we've got Patricia Baker, a female. Probably 35% of our guests have been female, so the numbers are following about the same. So she's going to talk about, you know, what her role is in this industry. And she's been in it a
Maybe
little
she
while.
could tell us her perspective of working with all those guys that won't get out of the way. You know, the ones who know everything, and you know, how do you drive them in a project? So
I know. I think there might be two of them sitting right here.
You think?
Anyway, so we're going to do that. We're going to got some news, and Angus is going to do his thing and so on. But maybe what we can do, let's start with you know, got one tech job.
All right.
All right. So
what do we got today?
This is going to be the you know, got one tech job.
Wow.
Wow. So
who signed up for that?
I know. Anyway, go to school. go to school. Study tech. Or this could be your career path.
That's a zookeeper or something.
That's a zookeeper or something. I know. How'd you like that job? Anyway, you know, got one tech job.
Nice.
So I've been doing lately. I've been doing some news stuff.
Okay.
You know, trying to turn this into a newscaster. So interesting things today. But I'm going to talk about Hawaii.
Okay.
Hawaii, you know, we're here.
Good.
And the state of Hawaii and the government.
Oh, because it's Admissions Day.
Oh, it is.
Today's Admissions Day.
Well, see.
Did you do that on purpose, or did you just forget?
I did not. So now
We didn't know if the studio was open today because it's a holiday.
I know. It is Admissions Day.
It
is. Happy Admissions Day, everybody.
Yeah.
Well, happy Admissions Day. And thanks for joining us at the beach. Anyway, so on Admissions Day, we'll talk about some Hawaii news. So the state of Hawaii has approved $30 million in grants to draw as many as 80,000 high-paying technology sector jobs to the islands over the next 15 years. So
80,000 people are coming here?
Well, $30 million in grants to bring in as many as 80,000 high-paying technology sector jobs on the islands over the next 15 years.
Government, or where are these guys going to work?
This is what was in government technology.
They're all going to work for you.
Yeah, well, 80,000. Boy, that'd be a lot of space.
There's the needs here. We know
Pacxa
that.
would be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
So so this is what's going to happen. One of the interesting things, though, is there's a little concern about not having enough off-island fiber.
Yeah.
Cable connecting
like
us
Fred
to
was talking about last week.
Fred was talking about last week, connecting us to the continental U.S. and Asia. Yeah. So there's discussion about that. So anyway, it's going to be really interesting to see how this will pan out. I have to go and get a chance to see what these grant applications look like and what they apply to.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know if it's where the money's earmarked for and what sort of development.
Yeah.
So I didn't see that, so that's cool.
So 30 million. So you know, I've got a contact person given to me, and I'm going to be reaching out, and then I'll do some more research on this and bring this forward. Track the money, and track the opportunities.
See if the bodies show up. Let's see what happens.
Patricia, you cannot go chasing those grants. You must stay with Pacxa. So that's it. But I will say one thing that they need to do. They talked about fiber. The improving bandwidth and capacity. How about improving the schools? I'm not going to say any more than that. Just improve the schools. Please. Because I tell you, that's going to be. You want to draw people here. One of the things they're going to ask is, well, what's the school system like, and where am I going to send my kids to school? And if I got to pay $20,000 to send them to private school, that big paying job just became a lot lower paying job as a result of that. So I would put that on the governor's agenda. And so we'll just have to see what's happening. Next thing we got happening is QVC. I know you watch QVC all the time.
I don't have TV.
Oh, you're so.
I'm sorry.
You're so security conscious.
No, my wife won't pay. She says it's too expensive.
I was going to say, I know you have QVC because she's always got you out there buying all that stuff.
I have internet stuff, but I don't have any TV.
Oh, you don't have TV. Well, QVC bought Zulily.
What is it?
Zulily for $2.4 billion, right? They're an online retailer aimed at mothers and acquired by the grant QVC. They acquired them to do
Like
interactive
new
online buying.
mothers or like?
Yeah, new mothers.
I see.
Yeah, so they
Yeah,
acquired
because
them.
they have specific needs, right, to be marketed to, so
Yeah.
that makes sense.
That's a good one. So QVC picked them up. And then Jeff Bezos, Amazon. So he rebuts the New York Times story about brutal working conditions at Amazon. You saw
I
that.
read that, I did read that.
So-
There was a lot of traffic on that.
There was a lot of traffic on that. So, but I have something, so point counterpoint.
Okay.
All right. So he said it's not the Amazon he knows, and they're not really doing that. But if we go back and look, so the state has a new CIO, right?
Yes, here.
And he's here, and he went in, and the new state CIO went in and said, we're gonna make some changes because the state is gobbling up bandwidth. You know, the employees
Oh,
are
yeah.
gobbling up bandwidth.
I read about that, too.
So, you know, and so he's put the clamps down on this, which I'm glad to hear, you know, about Netflix and Hulu. And I think, Ian, did I have sent you a shot of, you know, a candid shot of a government employee working at their desk?
Oh.
So take a
This
look
guy?
at take a look at this.
National Enquirer playing cards.
This is
Gotcha.
the government employee, IT employee of the month.
Oh.
He's got cards, he's got his pizza going, and I'm not sure what he's doing down at the bottom, but this is the government high-tech, where hard work and reality
mean.
blend. That's pretty mean.
We're-
So,
I hope somebody tweets it.
so
tweets
hopefully
Pacxa
we'll
that a little bit.
we'll see some great results of that
Well,
happening.
apparently it was true. I
I-
mean, so
I can attest
to
to,
have it in the paper like that, I mean, it's kind of crazy.
when I was with the Sitting and Counting of Honolulu, we put some software on the systems to track where employees were going and so on. And this was under MUFI. And what we did, every month, we went and handed the reports to the directors at the directors meeting.
Wow.
So, actually, it was every week. So every week, we handed this to the directors at the meeting. So the directors were given the reports. And so, do you think the bandwidth usage went down?
It sounds like it kept
Way
going up. Oh,
down.
did it then?
Oh, yeah, way down.
So is it they just lost tracking of that or program or
yeah,
something? Maybe
yeah.
it sounds like maybe because with the
Well,
turnover.
they didn't implement it, and so, but we did. We implemented it, instituted
Drove
it,
it.
and it drove productivity up, and it drove, you know, leisure time down. So
Wow.
that was pretty good. What else is happening in the news today is that there's a company called Paycar, Paccar.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever heard
No.
of them, kind of cool thing. They have a application that tracks the trucks on your mobile phone, and it analyzes trucks. So if you've got a fleet of vehicles, it manages and analyzes your trucks and lets you know from a preventative maintenance standpoint whether or not this truck needs to go in for servicing, so that to help mitigate the situation where you've got trucks breaking down in the field. So that's pretty, I thought that would be a neat one. If you look at all the fleets we've got around here, you know, the different companies that run fleets, that might be something that they should take a look at. Runs in the cloud. So
Aloha, my name is
it's
PJ,
gonna be
and
one.
I'm
I'm going to spend a little time looking at that. So it's
Yeah,
really kind
I'd
of a
like to know
neat
about
job.
that. Paccar. I gotta check that out. We have like, I
Paccar.
have like 10 or 12 trucks we run, so
And then
might be valuable.
this is one. Gotta love this one. So a new pay site. It's called PayQuick, Payquick, new letter. So it's Washington's marijuana tracking system, allowing you to make electronic payments.
Okay.
So now instead of PayPal,
Yeah.
you've got PayQuick in order for you to pay early on your marijuana purchases
Is it-
out of Washington.
But is it like a virtual currency or is it
Is
you're
it
paying
Bitcoin?
with-
No,
yeah.
you're paying with real money because it's legal there, right?
Yeah.
So don't forget, marijuana
They have,
is,
I heard it's all a total cash business too. Like
Yeah.
they have to do it all transacted in cash because they can't put it in the bank.
you
It's a
saw it
Fed.
here first. This is the
Oh, so PayQuick.
the non-cash process of paying for your
Wonder-
doobies.
It'd be interesting if they have to do that here. You know, I saw an article, Tom Keener, a fellow security company owner here in Hawaii, was talking about doing some business with all those exchanges when they get set up here.
Oh, okay. You're not talking about doing their marijuana sales here.
No, he was
Since we're not
positioning how
legal in Hawaii yet.
Yeah, he was
Well-
talking about when they get licensed, just setting up, you know, being able to track the product. They're talking about from seed all the way through its development, I guess. So you know, when it gets distributed, and so, to make sure it's actually medical marijuana that's been given to a person with a prescription. So it's just an interesting article that I saw. It was in the PBN or something.
This may be
So
a
it'll be
new,
interesting to see what they do.
it's maybe a new one for here because we've got, the law on legalization of, medical marijuana is
sure.
going into place in Hawaii. So maybe there might be an opportunity here. So
Yeah, you never know.
that was
Interesting stuff.
Interesting stuff. And then lastly, because since the stock market's been taking such a pounding this week,
Yeah.
they said it was the greatest loss since 2008. So
What goes up?
must come down.
That's it, brother.
Anyway, so Apple is down 8.5% in a week. So that really that really.
Time to buy? Let it keep dropping?
Maybe
What? I
because,
don't know. You know.
I was reading about the new Apple iPad coming out in the fourth quarter around Christmas. So maybe you jump in now. Don't follow my stock market recommendations, please. So don't even do that. So, and then last but not least, I have to do this one, because, it's so, and you know more about this than I do. So, on Tuesday, a huge trove of data was stolen from the extramarital affairs website servers that leaked online. Yeah, what is this called?
Ashley Madison.
Ashley Madison. So, as well as confidential internal documents and the like. So, 32 million records were hacked. And we've been talking about this. So what's interesting now, so this is the extramarital affairs website. 32 million records have been hacked. There's another group that have jumped right in behind this who are now have access to this data.
Oh yeah,
And
Reddit's parsing all of it out.
Yeah. Gray Flay is the name of the group, and they're now saying that they'll help you to kind of hide it for
hide it
for a ransom.
In what, Bitcoin?
Exactly. so
I mean, well, whatever.
I tell you, no, my Bitcoin. I told everybody don't buy Bitcoin. I'm glad you listened to me.
Oh.
Because I watched it right up and I watched it right
Yeah,
all
up
the way
and
down.
down. That's the cycle.
So
but anyway, this Ashley Madison hack, I think it's interesting. Just everybody's always thought about, wow, data hacking, losing my bank. We've talked about hacking health records when Alan was here and things like that. But here's an instance. I was reading about actually a blog from some attorneys, and they're all just licking their chops because divorce.
Oh,
because of the outcome of this, the amount of divorces and the amount of law stuff that's going to transact for them is business.
It's going to be huge. I know if you can find a publicly traded law firm that specializes in
divorce,
that may be the one you go for.
We're going to get Brad Coates on here soon. I want to talk about the because he doesn't charge all that money, right? He lets them, but I don't know if you go negotiate if you found out your spouse was cheating on an extramarital website.
I have no cheating or anything going on mine, but I did use him.
Oh, Brad Coates.
But there was no cheating.
But you didn't use Ashley Madison.
Yeah,
Let's make sure everybody's clear on that.
It wasn't Madison either. So anyway, they were saying, what $450 was the approximate ransom they're charging. They're not going to make that much money. But someone did the math, and at 1/10 of 1%, they're going to make $1.5 million.
Oh yeah.
Not bad.
Think of it.
So anyway, I'm not sweating this one. I don't know about you.
I didn't even know about Ashley Madison until I read about.
I thought it was an actual person. So because you saw how much I know.
Yeah, some a media conglomerate. So they have a few of those apparently types of sites that they own.
Yeah. So anyway.
And those guys were also saying that they didn't keep people's data. There was a lot of stuff Ashley Madison told its people that was also false. So there's going to be some fallout from that hack.
There ain't that. Well, we'll sue Ashley Madison. Well, I won't, but someone will sue Ashley Madison.
Oh, they are. I'm sure they're lighting that up
for
already.
Bitcoin. That's what they get paid in Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, if they have any left.
Yeah, it's all gone. Anyway, that's what I have today.
Good stuff.
Do you have a security minute for us?
I want to talk about something. I've got a picture here. We deploy a lot of cameras in for different purposes.
That looks like a mini. What is that?
That's just a guy who fell, off the roof.
Looks like a minion.
But and nobody wants to see anybody get injured or killed on the job. But in 2012, there were 4,175 private industry fatalities in North America. Another 2.8 million non-fatal occupational injuries. So, and those incidents expose employers to liability if they've got unsafe things going on or if they didn't train people how to work properly. And what the camera systems that get deployed also can provide to an owner is a way to check on staff to make sure that they are performing their tasks in the way that they were trained.
Okay.
And if something does happen, you can actually go back and see were they doing things the way they were supposed to do them. There's a lot of accidents with forklifts, for example, in distribution centers.
Right.
They crash the forklifts, they break them, they break packages, they break merchandise because they're driving maybe too fast or driving not the way they were trained to drive.
Yeah,
Just for example.
Ivor McForklift from last week could probably attest.
Probably could attest to that. So and if an employee were to get injured, something like that, oftentimes if there's no way to document that they were doing things incorrectly, the employer gets sued and has to pay.
Yeah,
so the idea that this surveillance cameras can provide a little bit of mitigation, depending on how they're deployed, for some of that industrial sort of liability is just something that I blogged about this a week or two ago, and there's been a lot of traction with that blog. So I thought we'd
Oh,
just bring it up here.
That's good to let people know.
Yeah,
Well-
get more mileage out of your surveillance system.
Okay, well, we're coming up on Lua time, so I've got to
Right on.
head off, and
I'll find Angus.
You got to find Angus, and we'll bring Angus up here, and then we've got Patricia Baker from Pacxa. She's going to come on and talk about project management and services management and IT.
Awesome.
So anyway, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and we'll be back in a minute.
Aloha, my name is PJ, and I'm the host of Hawaii Sports Update. I am very interested in local sports, and that's why I host the Hawaii Sports Update show. I bring in guests from Hawaii, I bring in guests from UH, I bring in guests from the community, I bring in big names, I bring in small names, I bring in all names that are community related and doing positive things, sports related in the community. Come join me every Tuesday at 1 p.m. here on Hawaii Sports Update. You can also join me on my golf tournament, the first annual PJ Sports Radio Show golf tournament. It's going to be held at Coral Creek. For any information, go to ThinkTech, Hawaii, INC, and friend us. The PayPal and a summary of the event will be right there available for you. And don't forget to tweet us.
Aloha, I'm Keli'i Akina, president of the Grassroot Institute and host on Ehana Kako, a weekly program on the ThinkTech Hawaii Broadcast Network. Ehana Kako means let's work together. Think of the sad alternative, let's not work together. Here in Hawaii, with all of our diversity and the richness of the people, it's important for us to come together around issues on the basis of what's right and what's good and what's going to serve the common good. And that's what we try to do at Ehana Kako. Every week we interview movers and shakers, people in government, business, and other sectors of society to talk about how to create together a better government, economy, a better world here in Hawaii that can bless the rest of the world. I thank you for your attention to ThinkTech Hawaii, and we look forward to seeing you every Monday, 2 to 3 p.m. on the ThinkTech Hawaii Broadcast Network. We're Ehana Kako, and we wish you well. Aloha.
Aloha, and welcome back to Hibachi Talk. We found Angus down on the beach where he's always hanging out, and we brought him up here. Angus, what do you got for me today, buddy?
Hello, Drew. How you doing there, wee
All
lad?
right, man.
Great to see you. Great to see you. You know, I got we talking about project management today. I got a wee joke for you. You know how I
Okay.
have a wee joke for you.
All right, let's have it,
So
let's have it.
you heard the phrase, you know, it isn't over until the fat lady sings, right? You heard that
Okay.
phrase. Well, the project manager is, it isn't over until the big fat check is cashed.
That's a
That's
fact.
how it works. That's
That's
what everybody's
right.
in there. So anyway, so we having all this conversation about hacking and email and infidelities and all those weird kind of things. Not Angus. Never, never, never would it be Angus. Just remember that, wee lassies, not me. Anyway, I want to talk to you about this cool product I saw the other day there in San Francisco. It's called encrypted email. Box encrypted email. And how does that work? It's a simple way for you to send email and receive email while it's all encrypted with 250-bit AES encryption. That's really, really cool. And guess what? It's even more exciting for guys that are Scottish like me. Nothing to buy. No hardware, no software to buy, nothing. All I got to do is pay a wee licensing fee, and I get that encrypted email. So doctors, hospitals, dentists, these are all the kinds of players out there that should be using this wee tool. So anyway, I would encourage people, go look at Paubox, Paubox.com, and look at that wee product out there. It's a real nifty one. And, you know, and we'll see how it goes from there. I'm going to start using it on a regular basis. Anyway, that's what my tech bit for today, and then we'll see what I come up with next week. Anyway, remember, let your wind gang free where'er you be. Aloha!
Nice job, Angus. Yeah, Paubox, I think the founder, Hawala Greedy, was on one of our shows, maybe one of the first or second ones. I'm glad Angus finally caught wind of the product and started using it. All right, well, we have Patricia Baker here with us today. Aloha, welcome.
Hi.
Nice to see you. Thanks
Thank you.
for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Have
Hello,
a
Patricia.
have a
So
have a
nice to see you. Long
libation.
time no
And, yeah, welcome to Hibachi Talk.
So we always ask our guests this real startup questions and so on, so people
Okay.
get to know, because we want people to know who you are and what you do and this kind of stuff. So our standard Hawaii question is, so where did you go to school? So where did you,
High school?
yes,
I went to St. Andrews Prairie.
St. Andrews Priory.
Right up the street.
Right up the street.
Right up the street.
Right up here, yeah.
A
Right
school
on.
of independent women.
Right on.
Oh, and look at where you are today as a
Right,
result of that.
absolutely.
So did you grow up here?
Well, I'm from the East Coast,
Okay.
and then I moved here, and then I went to school here, and then I left to Arizona State University.
Okay.
Oh, you went
Okay.
to Arizona State?
Wow.
I did, but then I
Sun
returned.
Devil.
I was a Sun Devil.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I came back home to University of Hawaii.
Wow. And then you graduated from University of
I
Hawaii?
did.
Wow.
Now, what was your major?
Well, interestingly enough, it was in criminology, sociology,
Ah.
because I wanted to be a lawyer
Okay,
after.
I think my show's over now.
Ah.
And I also took electronics engineering. in San
Oh,
Diego.
wow.
Wow, right on.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Now, so we have this conversation all the time about women in tech and so on. So how long have you're in the tech industry and you're in a very interesting role, which we're going to talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
in a minute. So, but how long have you, without disclosing your age,
Right.
all those kinds of things, how long have you been in the tech industry?
Well, I started when I was in college.
Okay.
I think my first tech job was building computers and refilling toner cartridges.
Okay.
Wow.
So I could,
Okay.
I had that back room and I could rip through, taking it apart and putting it back together.
That's
like
awesome.
20 in an hour.
Wow.
Sure. But I realized there weren't data centers here at that time.
Sure.
Back then. So then I went to San Diego and I worked at an internet company,
Oh.
a web hosting company.
Oh, similar to DR Fortress?
It wasn't a data
Co-location,
center.
okay.
It was a private business, but we
Okay.
built it out for,
Mm.
we had business, web hosting, and residential.
So what kind of hardware were you using at the time?
Uh-oh.
She says mainframe, I'm going to feel it.
Solaris.
Was it? Okay, sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sun
All right.
Solaris,
That's what I
Unix
thought.
boxes.
I was thinking, yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Well,
So that was pretty progressive work back then. So you were ambitious in IT.
I was a systems administrator,
Sure.
and then we got acquired, and then I became a manager of a network operations center.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
In the
Wow.
Northwest.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
How far northwest?
Like Vancouver, Washington.
Oh, wow,
Oh,
right on.
Nice spot.
That's another good town, huh?
Another nice spot.
So-
So then you came back to Hawaii because,
Because I felt that for my children,
okay,
it was a nice place to raise them.
right, no, most
You know,
definitely.
for the culture, diversity.
Yeah, guaranteed, I can attest to that, fitting in as comfortably as I do over these decades.
Right.
So now you've been doing, so this is a career for you.
Oh, yeah.
You have
absolutely.
made this a career. So let me ask this question. So we've got these numbers of women that are in tech.
Okay.
Right? And so 35% are in tech. We both say that there should be more women in tech.
Absolutely.
I think
A lot
there's
more.
a lot more. So, well, why is it there's so few women in tech? In your opinion, what do you think?
Because I think that initially how it, with guys, with the men
Mhm.
all in there, I think for females, they're kind of like, well, it's a guy's job, right? Or they deem it as it's technical. You have to be super technical and have all these maybe engineering skills to acquire a position.
Mhm.
Okay.
When in reality, it's a business, right?
Right.
So you have all these
Exactly.
different aspects.
Yes.
It's not just technology. You have to have your project managers. You have to have your account managers. You have to have your teams of people to
Sure.
make the business run.
Right,
So
right.
I
So
don't-
we don't intimidate you. Well, we wouldn't intimidate
Not
you.
me.
No, I can tell that. So it's not, so women should not, females should not be intimidated by this male-dominated industry.
Absolutely not.
No, if anything, the guys should be scared. The women are typically a little more organized than we are, in my opinion.
Lo and behold, a project
A
manager
project
and a
manager,
services
there you go.
coordinator.
Yeah, so,
So talk about a little bit about that, because we've talked about you don't have to be a math major, engineering major. You've been in the tech industry a fair bit of time. See how politically correct I was in saying that? In a fair bit of time. So what does a project manager, services coordinator do in tech?
Okay, so in the technical industry and IT, what we do is we work in teams, right? So it starts from the salesperson,
Okay.
right? And what gets sold and the customer's expectation gets set out there. Then we take it from there and we rally up a team of engineers and technicians and get that together. We put together a timeline of how and when things should be done, what dependencies rely on each other,
Mhm.
and we take that all the way to the end. Always checking in with the customer, making sure that
Yeah.
they're happy.
Happy all the way
Right.
along.
and that they sort of understand. So you had did you start studying, you were thinking about law initially and then decided on IT, or did you, how'd that switch sort of get flipped for you?
Well, it just seemed to me that I'd have to pick a certain area of law to go into, and it seemed so saturated at the time.
Ah,
Mhm.
okay.
And I was always, back in the days with the dial-ups and internet
Mhm.
connectivity that we did have, that interested me.
I see.
So that's how I got into the computer building. Those were always my side
Sure.
jobs.
So were you on the billboards early on and all that stuff?
Oh, remember like
So now we're dating her. No matter what way we're
Prodigy
gonna.
Yeah.
and all of
Okay,
those.
cool.
Yeah.
No, but it's interesting. I mean, it's interesting because a person looks at it and probably you saw a little, it sounds like some restriction, in one area, but in IT, knowing it's brand new and going to go crazy, all the world's a stage, and you can go where you want, where you wanted to go.
Absolutely.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So coming into this, into project management stuff, what are some of the key requirements that someone that would want to do that would need to have? In your particular case, what are the things that you find is that you have that in you? Because not everybody has the ability to be a project manager.
Right, so the natural type of skill set.
Right.
I think you need to be like really excited about organization, and you need to be very detailed, and you have to love planning and scheduling, and then also working with other people. You have to be a team
Definitely
player.
that. So do you write everything down?
I do. I write everything down, and I have it electronically.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so what kind of people do you like to work with?
Oh, all
Because
different.
teams can be different, right? So,
Absolutely.
what are some of the characteristics of like more successful projects that you think you've had?
You have to have people that want to do the work, first of all, right?
Okay,
That
that's
they're-
important.
That they want to do the work, and, not someone who feels that they're burned out or they have a lot on their plate already. And then someone who has the mindset of they want to get in there, help the customer, right? So customer oriented, but someone who's also focused on their task at hand, and they don't start going all over the place.
Like the guy in our picture there who had the National Enquirer out and he's playing solitaire on the
Solitaire,
computer. and-
Multitasking is
Yeah.
not good for you.
Yeah, I don't think
Employee of the
so.
week.
I was reading about that. It's not really true, right? Like people that think they're multitasking actually aren't very efficient at anything they're doing.
Right, because they're
versus-
all over the place, but they may feel that they are,
Sure.
but no.
Yeah, the science doesn't bear that out anymore, actually.
Fiction.
So is that one of your roles, is to make sure you herd the cats and bring them all into line?
Deadlines,
Yeah.
deadlines,
absolutely.
milestones, right? All that. You're
Absolutely.
good at plotting those out and holding people's.
Yes.
So that's, I like that look, I like the
Yeah.
look, I like the look.
She
you're
gets
giving.
fired
It's
up when
like-
she's
you
like,
bet-
she
you
can
bet-
see it.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be your husband, well, I tell you, you will be doing this, and you'll have it by this date on this time, and I'm writing it down.
So what percentage of your teams do you think are female? Just by the way, like a third? Does a third hold up for you in your interactions in the IT space today? Would you say a third or less?
On our teams, like the
Or
teams
just
internally,
and who you come across, maybe, because your clients, you're working with technical counterparts and clients, they're part of the team.
maybe
so.
a third or less than that.
Yeah, less,
I would say
probably a little less. Yeah, I think so.
It's mostly males.
Yeah, still yet.
What's the biggest challenge? And I'm sure there's a ton,
The
but.
biggest one would be staying on that timeline.
Okay,
Because there's always things that
sure.
happen, and you have to have the flexibility to get everybody back on track. You have to have a plan B.
now, do they have a tendency to over commit on timelines?
Sure.
Yeah, so you watch for that?
Yeah,
You kind of go,
absolutely.
you're gonna do it when and how long?
Well, for the project manager, it's important that they get in from the beginning.
Okay.
Right? So from the point where that sale is made, what expectation was set, they need to know about that, because that's really important, because you don't want to go in the middle and then the customer's like, well, we were told this,
Right.
and it turns out to be something totally different.
Sure.
So that's another big challenge, I give too.
Are IT projects of the type that you've managed, are they typically driven by hours? So the sales guy, right? He's gotten you 1,000 hours to deliver this of engineering time, and is it typical that 1,000 hours was enough, or has he been beat down to where you actually needed 1,500, and that kind of falls to you to I really got to be efficient because we don't have as much time as
Right.
we need because
Well-
of competitive pressure at the sale on the front end, right?
Right, well, they've gotten better at that, where they actually ask and they'll say, how much time do you think? I said, well, let me see the scope, and let me see what my resources are,
Mhm.
and I can give you a time for project management.
So,
And then, yeah.
so that's another cool thing. Sorry, didn't mean to really
That's okay.
interrupt. But that's another cool thing, I think, what you have to do. So you get this scope of work. Now you have to go back and analyze that scope to verify that what you're delivering is what the customer asked for. And, it's like, off the menu or whatever it is. And then make sure all of those pieces all the way through are tied together.
Correct.
That's no small undertaking.
No, it's fun.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
fun, because it's like a puzzle and you're putting together the pieces, and then you go and have these internal meetings with your team, and then you meet with the client and you lay out the timeline. Is this okay? Does this work for you?
Mhm.
And that's how you piece it together. I mean, it's fun. There's so many moving parts too.
Yeah, there's gotta be, it's like, I guess like building a building or building
Right.
an office building. You've got plumbers, electricians, all these different technicians coming in and so on. So how do you handle things like geek speak?
Geek speak?
With these guys that go and they do all these, acronyms, and VOIPs and all this, the different terminologies they use and so on.
I'm the type of person, if I don't know, I'll ask. I'll be
Okay.
the first to ask.
See,
Yeah.
that's why I'm always asking you.
Yeah,
It was
what is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it you're asking
Because
for?
if you don't ask, you don't know. And the worst thing somebody can tell you is, no, I'm not gonna answer that, and, okay, I'll find out from someone else.
So what are
Yeah.
some of the longest running projects that you've ever worked on? Like,
From
Like
beginning to end,
multi-year?
or from, I've been on some that I've been asked to clean up, say,
Okay.
or straighten out.
okay,
I get asked on a lot of those, actually.
yeah, okay.
Mm.
So some of those have been going on, say, I don't know, a year maybe, and then
Okay.
I get put into it, and then we usually finish off about 8 months.
Okay.
To 8 months to
Wow.
clean it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what do you think typically, having done many projects, but typically when you come in and see these ones that you've got to clean up, typically what is the common, is there a common thread through all of those projects?
I know this answer.
This is not a test.
I want to see what she says. I want to see.
Well, one of the main reasons is there's just not somebody there's no project manager on it. So that's one thing. Or you have somebody who was a project manager, maybe that wasn't their main role.
Oh, okay.
So they really need to fit somebody dedicated to that. Sometimes you see things where the project has changed so much
Mm.
that,
Scope creep, we call that.
right. So that happens too with these longer.
It seems like communication. It seems like a project managers are really always in the middle of communications,
Oh,
so when communications are bad in a project, that's what I think is like can be the number one sort of thing that hurts them, and the client's not expressing that this isn't what I thought and not clearly, right? Or the scope wasn't clear from the beginning and everybody's not really moving towards the same target, and what a nightmare to manage.
This is what I said, but not what I meant.
Yeah, there's that.
So, speaking of which, this is what I said and not what I meant, but we have to go take another short break and pay a bill or two, and we're here with Patricia Baker from Pacxa. She's a project manager and customer services coordinator, thank you very much. And so we're going to pay a couple of bills and we'll be back in a minute.
Hi, I'm Donna Blanchard. I'm the host of Center Stage here on ThinkTech Hawaii. Center Stage airs every Wednesday at 2 o'clock, and of course you can check out our archives on YouTube or on ThinkTech Hawaii anytime you like. Why should you do that? Because this is an arts show that I believe is making a difference in lives. We talk with artists of various ilk. We talk with painters and writers, playwrights, novelists, poets, sculptors, dancers, you name it, directors, actors, of course. And we don't only talk about what people do, but we talk about how they do it. And my favorite part of the conversation, we talk about why they do it. And it's really common on this show to hear people say, wow, I didn't think about it that way. And it's very common to hear people afterwards who have seen the show say the same thing. And I hear all the time that people are inspired by the conversations that we have. So why don't you join us and be inspired too? That's Center Stage on Wednesdays at 2 o'clock. We'll see you Center Stage.
Aloha, how you doing? Welcome to Hibachi Talk. Hope you got yourself a libation and joined us here at the beach. I'm here with Andrew, the security guy. And our guest today is Patricia Baker, and she's a project manager and services coordinator at Pacxa, and she's been talking to us about her career in tech. I mean, this is a young lady that's taken her whole life and turned it into a career in tech.
And that's way better than being a lawyer.
Yes, a lot better than being an attorney.
Bless the
And you
text.
have a lot more friends than you would if you had
A broader circle, let's
a
say.
circle of friends. There you go.
The so services coordinator as well. So what does that entail in from an IT perspective?
Okay, so what that entails is that could be somewhat of like an account manager in a sense, because you interface with the customer as well. You get the customer set up after the sale is made. You introduce them to how to contact support or how to use help desk, how to kind of find their way in any IT transitioning that they need.
Okay.
And then after that, it would be just coordinating what they need.
Okay.
Like, do you need a project? Do you need some just IT support? what their needs are.
So it's not, correct me if I'm wrong, so it's not like, okay, I've done the project, I've gone from the beginning, we've done everything out, we've delivered, and then we walk away. There's a period of time after that in the services side. Or is it,
In the very beginning.
oh, at the beginning?
So like when you onboard the customer.
Okay.
That services
Oh, so-
coordination gets heavily involved.
Oh, so if you're onboarding the customer to be a regular, recurring provider of the service.
Or you find out if they want that.
If they want that. Oh, okay, so that's an interesting and newer role, right? Because
is.
it wasn't around, 10 years ago.
Correct.
Because people had their own departments, were doing their own IT.
Yeah, and everybody, and everything's moving more towards services-based ITs become that really today. So that I think there's probably a lot more of that, and then everybody's probably seeking more opportunities, to offer other types of services to customers when they find out there's need. I was interested, so do you actually manage that coordination as well? So I mean, you have teams that have to provide those services. Do you manage them as well and staff them and train them, or?
We don't have a big team at this time.
Okay.
It's just me and someone else that does that.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's on
I see.
as needed basis.
Oh.
Yeah.
So is it, what do you think is driving this? Is it cloud that's driving this? I mean, you've been in the industry and you're seeing it change, because we heard software as a service, why can't I talk today? Software as a service,
Yeah.
infrastructure as a service,
Yeah.
right? Service desk / help desk. So you're seeing more of that. What do you think's driving that? I mean, this is a hard question to answer. I know it's a tough one,
It's driving
but we're
it.
seeing this shift. And to me, it's creating great opportunity.
No, absolutely. I think there's a big need for just IT support in general. A lot of it is the help desk. That's why they have a lot of work on their hands. They get saturated, right?
They get pounded, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's good that they're busy, right? It's a good problem to have.
Well,
right?
it's interesting, you started off with the, 80,000 jobs coming here in the next decade, and there's a grant now to fund bringing those bodies in, and so you think, what are they gonna do? Because I think companies, because I'm in small business guys, and there's a lot of them here, we really need to focus on what we do, but we need some high-tech tools and toys and services to help us do what we do. And so you used to do it yourself in-house.
Right.
And that's, I think, just not as affordable any longer, So I think the growth in services has come about from that, people just being willing to off-board it. Because now I'm relying, I've got a critical thing like my email, for example, right? That I used to own my mail server. I've got to have my mail server.
Gotta hug that
My
server.
customers can't get a hold of me without me, or whatever, right? And so like when you give it to a services provider, it's risky, right? Because what if they maybe don't care as much or whatever, right? Or they have a problem. So there's a lot of trust that has to go out there to add services and rely on them when they're really critical to your business. And I'm sure you get that from your clients, they're concerned. You have to have agreement, they want an agreement from you.
Sure.
What do they call it, service level agreements and all
Yes.
these things? Sure, okay.
KPIs.
SLA, sure. Oh, with key performance indicators?
Yes.
Okay,
So,
gotcha.
so you are,
Wow,
you're the face of the organization,
it
right?
sounds like it to me.
Right? So someone that was sitting in your role, this is not like the back of the office role.
No,
This
it's
is
not.
This is
No, it's
someone who is
client-facing.
Yeah.
client-facing, can make or break putting a lot of pressure on you. Can make a, you can,
I love pressure.
I know. You can make or break a project,
Yep,
right? Yeah,
absolutely.
you have to know when to escalate it higher.
Yes,
You're the person that's in front of the client.
yes,
So you have to learn their business too.
yes.
So, whether it be a healthcare provider or a utility or whatever, you've got to go in and learn and understand their aspects of their business. Now, how exciting is that?
It's super exciting. I mean, you get to learn something new almost every day.
So how does
Wow.
someone get, male or female, how does someone get into this? How did you create this opportunity? I mean, you didn't, like you said, you were going to be an attorney. You didn't run and say, I'm going to be a project manager.
Right.
And so how does someone say, okay, this is what I want to do. How do I get there?
I think what it is you tend to know what you're strong in, right? What your skill set is. And then if you have a good boss, then they can say, yes, I think we can use you in this area. And that's what a good manager does. They put you in a role that you're going to help the company and you're going to thrive. So I was fortunate to have someone like that. So yeah, they played on my skill set and I thrived. I mean, it's like it comes natural, that detail orientation and the organizing and structure. It's like OCD and I get paid for it.
Yeah.
Nice. And then you get to exercise your demons and you get a check.
It's awesome.
Well, and it's interesting because law is very detailed too. So I mean, it's interesting. You must have known that about yourself early on.
Oh, yeah.
Because law is highly detailed, obviously, to the verbiage and all that stuff.
Well, I've seen Patricia everywhere she goes, she's got a book. And they're not reading, and she's not reading it. It's one where she's taking down the notes.
Oh, a notebook.
Right, she's
Gotcha.
got the notes and
Sure.
she's taking down the notes, and then next you get an email saying, you said you were gonna have this done by such and such a date, just checking, which gives me another question. So you've gotta not only deal with techs and engineers and clients, you've gotta tell senior execs within organizations that they have committed to certain things.
Absolutely.
And how does that feel when you're going and you're sending a phone calling the bosses or someone's bosses up the ladder? So,
it doesn't intimidate me at all. I'm very,
we're all the same.
Right, so, and if they said it, then if they need reminder, then I will remind them.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I'm okay with that, and they should be okay with it too, because they said it.
Yeah, if everybody agrees that the project needs to get accomplished, then everybody
Absolutely.
agrees
Common
to.
goal.
But so I know there are some strong-headed
I know. which is-
C-suite guys that'll change their. Well, I know I said that yesterday, but today I got a different.
Are you copying me?
No,
Oh, okay,
not
just
in the
checking.
least.
Just
No,
checking.
my wife would say that about me, like straight up. There's no doubt about
Oh, I
it.
get that.
I want to do what I want to do.
So have you ever had anyone push back and say, yeah?
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's a customer that pushed back, but unfortunately for them, but fortunately for us, I had all of our conference calls recorded, right?
Okay.
So, I mean,
So you're back to this detail again.
I
This is,
am.
This is really good information. So thinking about, if you're going to get into any kind of project management work, you can't just fluff it off.
Sure.
no.
I'll never forget the first work I ever did with the Corps of Engineers, and the project manager for them was amazing. And that's the first time I ever watched someone that basically, as we're talking, was writing down what you committed to, and every meeting he opened up with that, when your deliverables were due, and
Right.
I was like, projects are easy if you're organized. It was amazing. I was like, this is great. I love this guy.
So it's interesting. So we've got two project managers, services coordinators.
Right.
They're both female.
Oh, at Pacxa?
At Pacxa.
Yes.
They're
Right
both
on.
female, they're both detail-oriented and so on.
Yeah.
So, we're getting down to winding down a little bit here. So a message, if you can send out to the females of this world, if you had, to get into tech, and they don't have to be math majors. What message would you give to them?
I would say hone in on your stronger skills, like if you are detail-oriented or if you have a passion for organization or being structured. I mean, I know many women in general running a household, you have children. You have to do that on a daily basis. So if that comes natural for you, I would say by all means look into project management, look into account management, those type of positions.
Those kinds of things.
Client-facing,
Yeah, and if you like facing the client, you like your workflow.
Yes.
Getting it from there to the end.
If you like telling people what to do.
Yeah.
If you're bossy.
Yeah,
good.
but you have to be
Political.
nice.
Oh,
and
yeah,
bossy.
sure.
Nice and
See,
bossy.
the trick is you have to encourage the person to get excited and want to do what you're asking them to do.
Gotcha.
Ah, okay, all right.
And you have to have that enthusiasm.
So, okay.
See?
I'm not gonna, yeah, so I got the homies here.
Tell us about these homies then, in this case.
Well, we'll talk
So
about the
you've gotta-
homies next
you've
week.
gotta-
One of
yeah.
our guests last week, not guests, one of our viewers last week said, the problem with the show, we don't have any homies. And he handed me this, and it's homies.
Well, I was just thinking how he
Yeah, it's got
motivated
nothing to do what
you.
we're talking about.
No,
Listen,
no, it was
but
on-
You can collect the whole neighborhood of homies.
I was
So-
borrowing from hers. He got you excited about bringing those on, and look, he talked to you and he encouraged you because we had no homies, and now look, we got boxes of them.
Yeah, we got boxes
That's
of
exactly
homies.
what she was
Wow.
saying people need to do.
So also, it's hard to believe, but we've actually burned through a perfectly good lunch hour.
Is that right?
Oh, wow.
So and I appreciate the fact that you've taken time off from your hard day at work. Get back and
Thank you.
get our girls and guys in line. So anyway, but no one goes away without receiving one of our ever so popular autographed and numbered solo cups. So
What's the number for it?
this is the 31st show
Oh,
and our
awesome.
31st cup. So
Oh.
this is for you.
Thank
Please
you.
don't lose it.
Right on.
Our guest today has been Patricia Baker, and she's with Pacxa, and project manager and customer services coordinator. We truly enjoyed having you on the show. I've been wanting to have you on the show a long time, so
Oh,
it's
thank
finally,
you
so
for
it's
having
great
me.
that we could
Thank you.
Thanks for
finally
sharing.
get there.
It's great.
So it's good. So nice to have you here again, dude, and you're off doing more stuff.
I am.
And I am too. So we want to thank everybody for joining us, and we look forward to you coming back next week and seeing us. hibachidoc.com. I'm going to have a new email address that's going to be encrypted on Powbox, and I'll talk to you about that next week. Anyway, have a great week. Enjoy yourselves, and how you doing?